What if I told you that the world's wealthiest people throughout history didn't discover their fortune by accident? What if there were hidden principles, ancient secrets, that the ultra-rich passed down through generations, secrets that have been buried, forgotten, or deliberately hidden from the masses? Today, you're about to discover 5 ancient wealth creation strategies that built empires. Strategies so powerful that one man used them to own most of ancient Rome. Another used them to control more wealth than entire nations combined. These aren't theories. These are proven methods that created legendary fortunes. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how they did it. Our journey begins 2,500 years ago in the golden sands of Babylon, once the richest city in the world. Here, in the shadows of towering ziggurats, lived a man named Arkad, known throughout the empire as the richest man in Babylon. One day, his childhood friends approached him with a question that haunts us all. "Arkad, we grew up together. We played the same games. We worked just as hard as you, yet you're wealthy beyond measure while we struggle for bread. What's your secret?" What Arkad revealed that day would echo through millennia. But here's what most people don't know. These weren't just Arkad's secrets. These were ancient laws of wealth that the Babylonian elite guarded closely. And they work just as powerfully today as they did 2,500 years ago. But before we reveal these secrets, you need to understand something crucial. Wealth in the ancient world wasn't about luck. It wasn't about being born into the right family. It was about understanding principles that most people were too afraid or too ignorant to follow. Secret number 1, the money magnet principle. Arkad's first law was simple but revolutionary. Start thy purse to fattening. But here's the hidden wisdom that modern financial advisors won't tell you. Arkad didn't just say save money. He revealed something far more powerful. He taught that you must keep at least 10% of everything you earn and claim it as your own. Not for bills, not for expenses, yours. But here's the secret within the secret. Keep this money visible. The Babylonian elite always carried a fat purse, physical proof of their prosperity. Why? Because money attracts money. Wealth is drawn to wealth. This isn't mysticism, it's psychology. When you see your wealth growing, your mind subconsciously creates more opportunities to increase it. Today, this is called a money magnet, an amount of cash you keep separate from everything else that you can see, touch, and count. Not in a bank account, not invested. Visible wealth that reminds you every single day, I am prosperous. The ancient Babylonians understood something we've forgotten. Your relationship with money is physical, not just digital. Secret number 2, the crisis opportunity strategy. Now let me introduce you to Marcus Licinius Crassus, a name you've probably never heard, yet he was potentially the wealthiest individual in human history. His fortune, adjusted for today's value, would exceed $200 billion. How did he do it? He mastered a principle that sounds ruthless but is brutally effective. He profited from other people's disasters. Here's his strategy. Ancient Rome had a massive fire problem. Buildings burned constantly. But Crassus had something no one else did, a private fire brigade of 500 highly skilled slaves trained as architects and builders. When a fire broke out, Crassus would rush to the scene. But he didn't immediately put out the fire. Instead, he made the owner an offer. Sell me your burning property right now at a massive discount, or watch it turn to ash. Desperate owners had no choice. They sold. Crassus bought. His team extinguished the fire, rebuilt the property, and he either kept it for rental income or sold it at enormous profit. At his peak, Crassus owned most of the city of Rome. His wealth equaled Rome's entire annual treasury revenue. The hidden wisdom: every crisis creates opportunities. While others panic and flee, the wealthy prepare and pounce. They don't cause disasters, they position themselves to profit when disasters inevitably occur. Warren Buffett famously said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." Crassus understood this 2,000 years earlier. Secret number 3, the skill multiplication system. Here's where Crassus's strategy gets even more brilliant. And this is the part history books conveniently leave out. He didn't just buy properties, he invested heavily in skills. His 500-person slave workforce wasn't random laborers. They were architects, engineers, builders, and craftsmen, the most skilled workers in Rome. Crassus would buy unskilled slaves, train them extensively, dramatically increase their value, and sell them at huge profits. He understood something profound. Skills multiply wealth exponentially. Think about it. An unskilled laborer has limited value. But teach that same person a high-value skill. Their worth increases 10x, 20x, or even 100x. The Babylonians taught the same principle: make thy gold multiply. But the real secret is this: you multiply gold by multiplying skills, your own skills, your team's skills, your investment's productivity. This is why the wealthy invest heavily in education, training, and mentorship. They don't just accumulate money, they accumulate capability, and capability generates infinite returns. Ask yourself, what skills have you developed this year that dramatically increased your value? Secret number 4, the diversification doctrine. The ancient Babylonians told the story of G.Mwendwa, a prosperous camel merchant. He owned hundreds of camels and grew wealthy from trading. Life was good. Then disaster struck. A disease swept through his herds, killing most of his animals. Overnight, G.Mwendwa lost everything. Why? Because he had put all his wealth into one asset class. The Babylonian wisdom was clear. Do not put all thy eggs in one basket. But the hidden secret goes deeper. Look at how Crassus operated. He didn't just own real estate. He controlled silver mines. He dominated the slave trade. He financed political campaigns. He had diversified income streams across multiple sectors. The Egyptian pharaohs understood this too. Their wealth came from agriculture along the Nile, gold mines in the desert, trade routes to the Mediterranean, and control of papyrus production. The secret isn't just diversification, it's strategic diversification. The wealthy don't spread their money randomly. They build interconnected systems where each asset protects and multiplies the others. Real estate generates cash flow. Precious metals protect against inflation. Businesses create active income. Investments produce passive returns. Each pillar supports the others. Secret number 5, the compound patience principle. This is the secret that separates the wealthy from everyone else. And it's the hardest to follow because it requires something rare: patience. The Babylonians taught, gold clings to the cautious owner. But here's the deeper truth they understood: wealth isn't built in days, weeks, or even months. It's built through consistent action over years. Here's what most people miss. Crassus didn't become Rome's richest man overnight. He spent decades systematically buying properties, training workers, and building his empire. The Egyptian civilization didn't create its wealth in a single generation. It took centuries of strategic Nile River management, agricultural innovation, and trade development. Ancient wealth creators understood compound growth, not just in money, but in reputation, relationships, skills, and influence. Each year built on the previous year. Each success created the foundation for the next success. Think about it. If you saved just 10% of your income and invested it wisely, after 20 years you wouldn't just have savings, you'd have a wealth-generating machine. The modern world wants instant gratification. The ancient wealthy understood that true wealth compounds slowly, invisibly, and then suddenly explodes. Start small, stay consistent, be patient. Let time multiply your efforts. But here's the critical warning the ancients also taught, and it's one Crassus learned too late. After becoming Rome's richest man, Crassus grew obsessed with something he didn't have: military glory. He wanted to match the conquests of Pompey and Caesar. In 53 BCE, he launched a disastrous invasion of Parthia. He was defeated, captured, and according to legend, killed by having molten gold poured down his throat, a symbol of his insatiable greed. The lesson: wealth without wisdom leads to destruction. The ancient secrets work, but they must be balanced with purpose, ethics, and knowing when enough is enough. The Babylonians taught, guard thy treasures from loss. The real treasure isn't just money, it's the wisdom to use it well. So now you know the 5 ancient wealth secrets that built empires. 1. The money magnet principle, keep wealth visible. 2. The crisis opportunity strategy, profit from what others fear. 3. The skill multiplication system, invest in capability. 4. The diversification doctrine, build interconnected wealth streams. 5. The compound patience principle, let time multiply your efforts. These aren't theories. These are proven principles that created the wealthiest individuals in human history, and they work today just as they did 2,500 years ago. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you let these secrets fade back into history, or will you apply them starting right now? The ancient wealthy left you a roadmap. The only question is whether you're brave enough to follow it. If this opened your eyes to ancient wisdom, hit that like button. Subscribe for more hidden knowledge, and drop a comment telling me which secret you're implementing first. Remember, wealth isn't about luck. It's about understanding principles that most people will never discover. You now have the knowledge. Go build your empire.